Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
Coming out for high school football
this
week.
It kind of marks the transition to the end of summer. I don't want to say it's the end of summer because we still got a couple weeks before Labor Day here, but
that's right.
Things start to really ramp up this week, and it kind of, even making the schedule yesterday, it's like, okay, here we go.
Kind of getting back in that groove of making that schedule.
Summer vacation's over, kids.
Yep.
Time to get back on the field.
Yep. So I know we had, Friday, a bunch of Friday was a bunch of scrimmages and such across the area and the state and such too. So, but I know it's kind of early maybe for some predictions and such because we still don't know how these kind of teams look and such. But maybe some of the usual suspects. I know Brandon was talking a little bit about Friday. Boyceville, probably a lot of high expectations for that team. Regis, too, looking at some of those schools. So maybe, because did he say Boyceville's returning like a ton?
Oh, Boyceville pretty much returns everybody. They're major. I think they lost maybe one offensive lineman. Like, they pretty much returned the whole team.
Man.
That's made deep runs the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. We're just seconds away from, defeating Edgar, who ended up being state champions, and they ended up falling that one. So, and they're a team that, that's, with our preview we had last week, their whole goal is state title or bust.
Yeah.
This is a team that, knew they took Edgar to the ropes.
Right.
Just couldn't get past them. And now they have everybody coming back, that chip on their shoulder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a team that has eyes on Camp Randall, and they're super talented, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get there.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. I think there's going to be quite a few teams probably in our area that's going to be maybe pushing for some deep postseason runs this year too.
In that first week, we start on Thursdays, the first batch of games. So you'll have North and Menominee. So Menominee trying to keep that playoff run, insane run that they've had for 30 years going there. Right. Then DC Everest Rice Lake should be a really good team. I think if people remember last season, DC Everest was a team that went in like it's a 6th seed. Mm-hmm. And
that's right.
And everybody's like,
because you kept saying,
anybody would see them play like that team's not a 6th seed. And I mean, Rice Lake, all they do is just make it to state championships, no matter what division that they're in. So a really good test to start out the season. Chippewa Falls and Spash battling each other. I mean, two teams that are perennial playoff teams, and Chuck Rakovich has just been. Every year he's a chameleon. He lost a lot of players from last year, but he finds a way to just. He really is good at building to his strength.
Yeah, I was going to say, he adapts, I feel like, every single season or every type of team that he's got.
If he has the passing, he'll do it. Mm-hmm. But if he needs to go back to that bread and butter run game, he can do that too. But he's been always been good, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer. He's a 2-time Hall of Famer. That's what he's been doing. And then first game at Memorial's new stadium. It'll be Hudson versus Memorial. So just a really good test for that old Abe's team that struggled last year out of the gate against a Hudson team that, again, another perennial powerhouse that they'll face. And then filling those days out, it's Cadott versus Augusta, two teams trying to get their season started on the right note. Levis Strum made a big run last year to get into the playoffs. They'll take on Glenwood City, and then Marshfield and New Richmond there as well. So a few of those, to name a few. And then Friday, GET Mondovi. Oh, yeah. That just an energetic team. They return a lot of players, too. So that's a team that I'd keep your eyes on. Regis will start at home against Turtle Lake, so that's a team that, Brian Brenner has done such a solid job every year, and the depth they build up on that team and just the program. And so first test against Turtle Lake. Stanley Boyd, they lost a lot of players, but and have a new coach as well. They'll take on Colby. And then there's that Boyceville game where they take on Indy Gilmanton, so we'll see what they can do out of the gate. Mm-hmm. Big rivalry game. I would say it is because it's not a conference rivalry anymore, but it's one that they continue. It usually opens the season. Fall Creek and Altoona.
Oh, yeah.
Two teams that want to get their season started right. Fall Creek and made a run last year, and Altoona's looking to get back into the playoffs. Spooner Elk Mound. Mm-hmm. And then Somerset Bloomer with some guy named Tyler Mickelson leading Bloomer over there.
That's right.
Whitehall Colfax, Durand, Arkansas versus Spring Valley, Ladysmith versus Edgar. Yep. Edgar, defending state champs there. And then Neilsville, New Lisbon, and then go to 8-player. And there's a bunch of 8-player games. The one I have listed right now is Lincoln versus McDonald. But there's more games. Obviously, these are just some of the games that I've written down on here. But there'll be plenty of the full schedule. But kind of nice for us that it's split up in 2 days. So we'll get a chance to showcase a lot more teams we would if they were all just on Friday.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know, you mentioned for 8-man, it's kind of different this year too because they all start at the same time.
Right.
Whereas, it's kind of 8-man, I think, started a week earlier or later.
Later,
yeah.
It used to be a week later. So
yeah, so now it's all at the same time now too. So, but you got Thorup that's going to be in there. Gilman's probably going to be up there too. New Auburn. Yep. So.
Yeah. So there's plenty of teams that will have a chance, and yeah, it's exciting. It really is to get back there. And you really don't know until the games start playing.
Right.
So we'll find out starting on Thursday of what we got in the area.
Right. And I know kind of all the other fall, even though it's summer, but fall sports are underway too. I know tennis is going on for girls.
Yep.
Got girls golf.
Volleyball practice and soccer, I believe, begins today.
Mm-hmm.
So
cross country.
Yep,
I mean,
as well.
Soccer for boys soccer too. I mean, it's. If you're driving by the schools, you're probably seeing a lot of those kids out there in practice. Even the marching band's getting some work in too.
The activities really kind of ramp up here, starting this week, especially with the start of games and then the start of a lot of practices.
Exactly. And then on the Blue Gold side, too, it's just a couple weeks away until, remember, they begin on a Thursday.
Right.
Blue Gold football against Carroll University this year. So that's September 4th.
Things are, and they started practice last week. And team that's, a lot of turnover, but third year for Rob Erickson, just looking to see what they can do. And, a lot of talented players have come into that program from around the area. And I think they're excited. I think they're really excited and chomping at the bit to get on the field there for that first game and see what they got.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting, I think, WEAU conference this year because if you look at the preseason polls right now, the early polls, there's a lot of WEAU teams that are getting good votes. Like Stout received votes, Oshkosh received votes, La Crosse right now number 11, River Falls 19, Whitewater 24, Platteville 15. So it's going to be another tough schedule, but an opportunity to showcase what they're made of too.
Probably top to bottom, still the best Division III conference.
Yeah,
in football and all sports, in my opinion, is the WIAC, and I think you're going to see it this year with this football, which means there might be a lot of teams beating up on each other.
Right.
I don't know if there's going to be a team that's going to run away with it, just to how stacked this conference is and what we've seen the last few years.
Right.
So, it should be fun once things get started. And, the Blue Goals, they're trying to get back into that mix. And we'll see what they can do and, start with that non-conference schedule and then ramp it up there come October.
Yep. And, I mean, heck, even Blue Gold Volleyball, we got scrimmages coming up this weekend too, and it's going to be cool because I think there's a lot of excitement for that team coming back, a younger team from a couple of years ago, getting a lot of experience the last couple of years.
Yes.
And now they're going to be playing in the Sonnentag too, so that's going to be kind of cool to watch for the volleyball team. But they're going to be coming up here too with some scrimmages coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I think they have the scrimmage on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, and then they start non-conference play and like some tournament plays right away after that. So I know we saw Wisconsin volleyball had an exhibition game against Notre Dame the day after their scrimmage too. So and they got the win there. So I mean, this state has become such a volleyball state, not just because of the Badgers, but because of what UW Eau Claire has done in the D3 ranks as well. So
exactly,
Kim Woody, she does such a great job with that team, and like you said, there was a lot of youngsters that were getting playing time last year and made a really good run towards the end of last year. So I think they're going to step up and really contend for a conference championship and try to make another NCAA tournament.
Right. Yep. So, all right. So we're just kind of at the beginning stages of some local sports. Definitely we'll have some more as we get closer and closer to everything going on and such. So.